Run ads, scale with paid traffic. If you're not spending money to get clients, you're leaving money on the table. You've heard that before, right? For way too long, I've seen coaches chuck thousands of dollars at paid ads with absolutely no return. And so the organic strategy I'm about to share with you today got me a better ROI than any paid ads campaign ever did. And before you think I'm about to tell you paid ads are a scam, they're absolutely not. But if you run them at the wrong time and you run the wrong type of ads, they will absolutely cripple your business. But if you build this organic sales engine first, it will set you up for success. The first thing we have to do is think about why paid ads don't even work for most coaches in the beginning who are starting out. And I think it's the absolute worst advice to give a beginner coach. Because if you don't have clients, you're not getting regular clients, you haven't validated your offer, you don't know you're actually getting client transformations, and you're not getting consistent clients in the door, well, what happens is when you start throwing money at paid ads, $50 a day, $100 a day to start out, all of a sudden you're going $1,500 or $3,000 a month into the hole. You might not get any clients for 1, 2, 3 months, which is very common when you're doing this out of the gate. The pressure's building up. And instead of you actually focusing on making a better program, building better assets, building a better sales system, actually getting better client results, what do? Instead, you're going and you're thinking, well, the funnel isn't working, or there's something wrong with my pixel, or my ad creative doesn't work. And then you go and you spend all your time on that. Instead of actually coaching people, getting client results, building your program, you spend all your time on the ad side. And all of a sudden, you've turned yourself into a glorified media buyer and funnel engineer. You're spending all the time working in the business or even in the ads manager instead of actually doing what you need to do for the business and actually getting clients and making money. And so people are running ads before their system is even ready. And so they're wasting the money, they're getting no clients, nothing bloody works, they get pissed off and they think it's a scam and they think it doesn't work. And it's not that it's a scam. It's not that ads don't work, because ads definitely work. There's people cleaning up on ads. And if ads didn't work, then Meta knows, but after you figure out it didn't work, you wouldn't give them any money anymore. But the problem is ads amplify what's already there. So if it's broken, it will amplify that. It will make it even more broken. And if it's working, it will make it work even better. And so most of these coaches who are doing this, they're running the ad. And even if they do get good traction on the ad and they move people to wherever they're sending them to, maybe a VSL or other resource, the problem is they don't have the right messaging. They don't have the right offer. They don't have the right sales process. They don't have the right nurture process. They don't have the right pre-call process. They don't have the right sales conversion system. They don't have the correct follow-up. They don't have any of these things. And so what a lot of coaches I see are doing when they're on ads, they are sending people straight to a VSL. And we all love the cold traffic VSL funnel, right? From back in the day. But it is getting harder and harder now. In fact, it doesn't really work for most coaches. You don't see it that often anymore. And the people you do see doing it, they've already got a big name and unrivaled client results and just got booming businesses to where people are already familiar with them. So this game is getting harder and it's getting more expensive. There's more competition, higher CPMs, more skeptical audiences. And so when you're doing this, if you don't have this organic sales engine set up, and I'll describe exactly how to create that in a minute here, if you don't have it set up with all those things I mentioned, it's basically like you're trying to fill a bucket and your bucket has a bunch of holes in it. You're pouring water in and you're wondering, why is my bucket not filling up with money? Why is it not filling up with leads? Why is it not filling up with clients? Because you're putting all this on there and you've got a hole. Clients, you've got a hole, cash, you've got a hole, leads, and everything's just leaking out. And it's all because you didn't have the right system. But when you have a bulletproof organic sales engine in place and then you run traffic to it, my God, you will dominate. So what needs to be in place first, and what really needs to be in place, is that organic foundation, the organic sales engine. The organic sales engine is a sharp, compelling, outcome-driven offer with clear messaging. And you have content that both attracts people, attracts leads, it pre-sells them, makes them want to raise their hand and book in or message you, and build trust before anyone even speaks to you or messages you to buy. By that point, they're already pre-warmed up. They know you, like you, trust you, seen everything about your process, and it just makes the close so much easier. Next, you're going to need a nurturing system that moves people towards that decision. Because even though I said the content and the assets would be great, we can't just expect that they're going to see a piece of content and come and book in. So once people see the content, well, guess what? you'll have some emails. I know plenty of people have emails. Most people just have robotic emails that don't actually work. They're sending people the wrong thing. So you've got emails, but we're not done. You have DMs as well, because email is great at mass, it's great at scale, but DMs will have higher conversions, higher open rates, higher response rates. People like to pit one against the other. Why not do both? And then on top of that, you're also going to have assets. So when people aren't ready to book in and buy just yet, guess what? They can go through your assets. They can go through seeing how your system works, how it would work for them. And if you make these assets really good, they can actually get people some wins along the way as well. And so your content system will kind of look like a triangle, right? So we'll have long form content, short form content, and email. And then I guess it could be a square. You could have the DMs, or DM could be off to the side. I didn't really think the shape through. But when we're talking about long form, short form, and email, short form content is just to grab attention. You grab attention, you bring people in, people are scrolling, they'll just see your stuff, okay? They can just have that short attention span, lock in for a few seconds. You're just trying to grab them in. That's the short form content. The long form content is essential as well in your organic sales engine, because once you've got people in through the short content, when they sit down and watch your long form content, they get to, again, know you, like you, trust you, see you as an authority, really see everything. Imagine somebody sits down and they binge 5, 6, 7, 8 of your videos. Bingers are buyers. So that's why we want to get people into the long form asset. They can actually genuinely get to know you and your personality, love what you do, and they spend time with you. So they are pre-selling themselves. And then the email to do a couple of things. One, to stay top of mind, because they might not go on YouTube or social media that day. Who am I kidding? Everybody spends all day on there. But if they're not on there, you can stay top of mind with email. Or if the algorithm doesn't serve it to them, you can stay top of mind with email. And with email, you can actually pull them back to your content as well. And then with the DMs, like I said, DMs, not only are they like a higher open rate, higher response rate, but it's more personalized. An email, you know, it's just going out to everybody. DMs, it seems like it's just for you. And you can do things like a little video message, a voice note, so you can get creative with it, and you can do things over and over again. It's so good to mesh all these things together. So you've got that. Next thing you're going to need as well is a conversion system. So with your conversion system, sure, we talked about like pre-call assets, nurturing assets, pre-call emails, case studies, but actually know this step by step, what you're going to send, what you want them to see, what you want them to fill out prior to a call, how that call is going to go. If it's through a DM conversation, how is that conversation going to go? What information are they going to see? When are you going to drop the price? What kind of options are you going to give them? How are you going to qualify them? So you have that whole system in place. That way, people are coming there, your close rates just skyrocket. Your close rates go so much higher. It's not just because your process is better and you're a better closer. It's because you're bringing the right people there. You're not spending time with the wrong people. The wrong people are either getting filtered out, or more of an advanced strategy, we monetize them by other methods. That's a topic for another video. So I won't get too into that right now, but that's what you can do as well. And then you thought we were probably done there with that conversion system. No, then you're going to have a follow-up system, because not everybody's going to buy. Doesn't matter how good you are. You probably close 30, 40, maybe some of you are really good, 50%. But what about all those people that didn't buy? The people who needed some time, the people who were in another program, the people who had some logistical issues. You want a follow-up system, so no lead goes cold and dies in your pipeline. Again, most people think they have a follow-up system. They don't have a follow-up system. They just message, hey, just checking in. Hey, just wanted to see how you're doing with that. How are you getting on? Are you thinking about joining? That's not follow-up. That's annoying people. And even if you think you're serving them, you're probably not. And then people take the other extreme where they just go and just help, but not actually get people into the sale. So you want a proper follow-up system that you're moving people closer to the point of sale every time. And you also want an automated follow-up system that does this for you. So imagine you had an automated follow-up system that sends case studies on your behalf, sends new content on your behalf, specific content tailored to them, specific case studies tailored to them. And you could do this ongoing and actually helping them and then making another micro ask, making another micro ask. That's the importance of the automated follow-up system. And even though we have that system there, we're still not done. You want a way to reactivate existing pipeline members. So I call this the rapid cash injection. And I'll give you a short summary of this. I'm also going to leave a description in the video description below of the rapid cash injection, because I did a full video breaking this down of this exact process. But essentially what you're doing is all the people over the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days who showed interest but didn't buy, they're still interested. Maybe they gave you some objection. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe they still haven't got the result, but they were interested. So if you had one person, like 30 calls a month who didn't buy, that's 90 over 3 months. And you can get 10% of them to buy again, 9 at 5K an offer, $45,000. You're losing that every single quarter and sometimes more by not having this rapid cash injection in place. I've left the full video in the description anyway. Once you have all of this, we're still not done. This is how important the organic sales engine is. You need proof that it's actually working because people think, oh, my system's working, my numbers are working. Let's see the proof. Let's see the data. So do you know your close rate? You got to know all your numbers, your close rate, your show up rate, your offer to your booked call rate, your offer to close rate, your shown up to offer rate. Know all these single numbers so that you can see if it's working, but you can also see the constraint. Because too many business owners, they try and fix the thing that is actually working. And the one thing in their entire system that could be fixed and just fix everything, they don't touch it. So now we're done with the organic sales engine. And at this point, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. They know you, they like you, they trust you. They see you as an authority. They've seen all this. You know what I'm going to say. You've got them there. This has done all the heavy lifting for you. And I want to take a quote from Naval Ravikant. I shouldn't even say a quote because I don't know if I'm using the exact words, but sales is only necessary because of poor marketing. Probably not an exact quote, but the gist is there. You need to rely so heavily on sales because your marketing hasn't done the job. And so I want to make something clear. This isn't theory, what I described here. This is the exact system I've used in my own business to scale from 0 to 100K plus a month in just 8 months. And it's the same system we've installed successfully in over 200 other coaches' businesses. So if you want to see how this could work specifically for you, your offer and your audience, there's a link below where you can apply to work with me directly. And there we will look at your current pipeline, your content, your follow-up, your entire organic sales engine or lack thereof, and map out exactly where the money is hiding in your process. But anyway, for now, let's talk about why this sets the stage for ads. So when are you actually ready for ads? Well, you're ready for ads when you have this organic sales engine that I described, and your organic sales engine is converting consistently. Again, what do we mean by that? People say their business is consistent. For me, consistent means you're getting leads every single day. Leads, plural, every single day, and clients every single week. Clients, we could even say a bare minimum of one high-ticket client a week, and hopefully multiple as well. And then also knowing your numbers. So again, all those metrics I said, your close rate, your show up rate, your cost per call, etc. And then when you have that, and it's all working in KPI, which will help you work out, then the ads become the fuel, not the fire itself. That's the mistake that most coaches make. And the two work together in synergy. When you're doing it this way, ads bring people in. Ads bring people, you'll notice like the VSL ads straight to VSL and ads straight to things like Facebook groups and school communities. You notice they're not very prevalent anymore. So what we do is ads just bring people in, just gets them to your content, gets them into your ecosystem, gets them into your world, gets them into some kind of small lead magnet. So ads brings them in. This whole organic sales engine, it warms them up. They can binge your stuff. They see you all over. And then they either convert from there, or what happens is the ad can bookend them. So the ad brings them in. The organic sales engine does all this heavy lifting and brings them like 95% there. And then the ad bookends them with something like a retargeting ad. So with that retargeting ad, it's people who have already seen your initial ad, people are already familiar with your content. Now they're seeing another ad. Those people are way more qualified than the initial people. So here's the difference, side by side. Two coaches, let's call them Peter and Mike. So Peter is spending on ads, sending them straight cold traffic to a VSL page. And one of a few things happen. They either see the page, they don't book, or they book and they don't buy, or they book and they show up with no trust. They don't even know why they're there. They don't remember why they booked the call. They have objections. And Peter has a robotic email sequence and a robotic thank you page. And he's going to the hole every month, like I described earlier. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month into ads. As that time goes on, he's thinking, shit, this isn't working. I need to do something more. And again, he turns into that glorified ads manager, media buyer, funnel engineer. So he's just doing that every single month, working with his clients, not getting them the transformations. Then you got Mike. Mike spends on ads, yes. But when he spends on ads, He's sending people to his content. People see his content. They get on his email list. They binge his videos. They get into his community. They see his long form, short form, email, DMs. They've seen everything. They see how his process works, and they've built trust over time. They've seen 10, 20, 30, 40 of Mike's videos. They've spent hours with him. They finally book a call. Maybe not as quickly as Peter's people. Peter's people might book a call very quickly. Mike's might take a couple of weeks, couple of months. But when they do book a call, they convert. And no fancy sales script is needed because the marketing has done the heavy lifting. Same ad spend, but massively, massively different results in terms of revenue and profit. Because again, Peter is trying to optimize the system that was broken before he even started. But Mike is already doing all the right things. He's installed his organic sales engine. So when he does run ads, he just brings people in and the system does all the heavy lifting. His ad is just to bring people in. And so Peter is relying on sales and Mike's marketing does the majority of the work. The marketing gets people 95% there. And so before the ads, even before running any ads at all, Mike is keeping every dollar in his pocket. So remember, ads do not fix the system. It scales the one that's already working and it just breaks even more the one that isn't working. And what I've just described to you is the opportunity cost that most coaches are missing. Very, very few coaches are building a real organic sales engine. If you don't believe me, go look around. Go look at some of the big coaches you follow or big names in the coaching or info space who are actually doing this. You can probably count them on one or two hands, the amount who are doing this, and then who's actually doing it well. And so again, don't just take my word for it. Look around. The ones who do this and then layer ads on top of it, they're almost impossible to compete with. And then you get annoyed, like, wow, why is this person so good? Why are they taking all the market share? This is why. Because if you've ever run ads, you'll know. And if you haven't run ads, go ask someone who has, that warm audiences convert at a fraction of the cost that cold traffic does. Now, this might sound really good, but I have to be honest with you about something. This system works, but you will not build it by just posting random content and hoping and sending random emails. The coaches who get real results with this are the ones who install it properly. The right offer, the right messaging, the right assets, the right follow-up sequences in place, and the ones who try and piece it together bit by bit from like free YouTube videos and free content, they usually spend 6 months or more just to get it half right. So that's exactly why I've built Coach Scale, to take everything I've described in this video and plenty more, but the content strategy, the DM system, the rapid cash injection strategy, the CRM, the follow-up sequences, and then put that all together. And then if you want, scale it even faster with ads and install it directly into your business. Not as a course that you have to figure out on your own, but as a done with you system with direct access to me and a community of others also building out their own systems. The coaches I work with don't just learn this system, they implement it. And the results you've seen and heard me describe in this video, these are the coaches who went from stuck to scaling. Those are the results of implementation, not just information. So if you're ready to stop trying and figure it all out alone and start building a system that actually works, the link below in the description will take you to an application to work with me directly. And whether that's purely organic or throwing ads into the mix, we'll find out the exact strategy, the happy medium that's right for you and your goals. And if you're not ready for that just yet, I've got 3 things you can do as well. Like and subscribe, obviously. But if you want to see just a taste of what we do, watch this video next, where I break down the rapid cash injection method in step-by-step detail and show you how you can pull in an extra $20,000 to $50,000 in the next 7 days without creating any content or running any ads. I'll see you over there.